Mike, everybody wanted to talk about Justin Fields in the offseason. They wanted to talk about what the Bears did to surround him and how much. I saw people calling him an MVP candidate before week 1 happened. You know what he did in week 1?
What did he do in week 1?
He threw an interception, a touchdown,
just one,
and went 24-37 with 216 passing yards.
Wow. MVP.
No. DJ Moore, who impressed throughout the preseason, impressed in training camp. 2 catches, 25 yards.
Impressive.
Defense for Chicago, a problem. Hey, Tremaine Edmonds, take this $72 million and allow 329 total yards. Not that it's all Tremaine Edmonds' fault.
I was just going to say, exactly like it's all his fault.
But hey, that's a lot of yards to allow.
That is a lot of
against
yards.
The Green Bay Packers, who were missing their number 1 wide receiver.
Yep. That is crazy. And again, I'm going to reference memes as I always do. As the meme says, Mr. Rogers has passed along the deed to Mr. Love of ownership of the Bears. My wife's friend is a Bears fan, so I apologize for saying this, but I do like the Packers. I never had a problem with both teams, so I'm happy with the win.
Remember when we had a problem with picking a winner in that game last week? We both wanted to pick Chicago because of certain things, but it seems they just can't do it. Even though that series is almost tied.
Yep.
It's almost tied. I think the Packers have a leg up on them now, but they were tied not too long ago in terms of against each other.
Okay.
So they lost, plain and simple. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, however, won against Minnesota. We obviously talked about that a little bit earlier. The only thing you need to know about Tampa Bay is if Baker Mayfield doesn't commit any turnovers, that defense is a freaking problem.
Yeah.
I remember what you said. I'm going to quote you because you can't quote yourself because you can't remember what you said. So I'm going to do it.
Uh-huh.
I didn't think Tampa Bay's defense was this good. That's what you said. That's what you said in that game against Minnesota. But you got to remember, man, Antoine Winfield Jr. at safety. The linebackers are crazy with Levante David. The defensive line, Vita Vea. They have good players all over that defense.
And I more than likely said that because I did not pay very much attention to Tampa Bay last year. So
you didn't have to pay attention last year. This could have been Super Bowl with Brady. Like, this defense has been elite for a very long time. I just didn't think Baker was going to play. I didn't think Baker was going to play mistake-free football.
Baker lit it up, and you and I both have been rooting at one point or another for Baker to make it, and I'm always going to root for the little guy, so I'm on that bus. I'm on that bus with you. I'm rooting for him. Yeah. I am 5'7" on a good day.
I love this. This is great.
but I'm on that Baker bus. He had a hell of a game, man. I love his fearlessness. I love that he was on. I mentioned it in the other show on Kyle Brandt's, angry run, man. It was great to see him back. I hope he can keep that poise. I hope he's found his team, and
it'd be nice.
Pulls a Geno Smith and has
one good year and then
at least one. The guy deserves.
He had one great year already in Cleveland.
In Cleveland, he did have a good year.
He took him to the playoffs, and he got a victory.
I want to see him get his retribution. I want to see him. Since he's left Cleveland, he's bounced from team to team, and I hope he found a home.
We'll have to see if that's what happened.
I'm not confident in Todd Bowles as a coach. I know they won, but I don't think he's a great coach.
He's a great defensive coordinator, maybe not a great head coach.
1,000%.
The defense, though, we talked about it. They're top 10. Top 10 for sure. I don't know where they were ranked in terms of the defensive thing that you read, but the craziest thing about Tampa Bay, even though their defense is so good, Justin Jefferson went off against them with I think it was like 150 receiving yards, but it is what it is. Mike, who are you taking in this game? Chicago Bears, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
After last week, I don't want to pick the Bears. I'm having a hard time with this one. go and say that Baker ends up regressing a game for one reason or another. Just call it a gut feeling. And the Bears squeak one out, but barely.
I'm shocked that this early I'm going to do it, but I'm picking Tampa Bay. I didn't expect to pick Tampa Bay this early on in the season.
I expected you to go Tampa Bay.
And what I wrote down is that Tampa Bay made Minnesota look bad. Minnesota, a potential top offense in the entire league. Yes, Jefferson did his thing, but they still made them look bad. Yeah, they held them, and they ended up with the victory. I'm hopping on the Baker bus this week. We'll see how long I'm on the Baker bus. I kind of have a my ticket is to get off at any stop, and this week I'm on. So we'll see.
All right.
I'm very surprised you went the Bears there. I think
I knew you were. I knew I was going to catch you off guard with that one. I probably caught myself on guard, and it's probably going to be one of those picks I kicked myself for, and I gave to you, but
might be.
We'll see. I just got that feeling.
It only takes one, Mike. It only takes one to get this belt.
Just one?
Just one.
That's it.
The game of the week is probably this next game. Kansas City Chiefs at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Mm-hmm. I'm very happy we're getting this early on in the season because I think this could be one we see down the line for sure.
Okay.
I expect both teams to make the playoffs. I don't know, if they're going to hit each other early or late. Who knows? But I think this one is possibly one we could see again. Obviously, the big storyline in this game is Travis Kelce.
Yep.
All the signs that I know of and everything that I've read, I'm expecting him to go this week. I'm expecting him to play. Not to mention, they got a deal done with Chris Jones. Not sure if you heard about that.
I did not.
They did.
That's big news.
1-year deal, $18.42 million. It was more, but he lost $1.08 million from not playing in the Week 1 game. And then there's bonuses like crazy. Bonuses for Defensive Player of the Year. Bonuses for making a Super Bowl. Like $2 million in bonuses. There's like 6 different bonuses on that contract. It's nuts. But he's back, which is huge. And then we talked about it already a little bit when we were talking about Detroit. Kansas City did not play their best football last Thursday night.
Nah, not
the same way the Bills didn't, the same way the Bengals didn't. We know what Patrick Mahomes is. I wrote down that, to me, he's a lot like Brady. And I bet against Brady far too many times in my young football fandom life. I'm not doing it anymore. Like with somebody who's as good as Patrick Mahomes is. But you're the Jags fan. Let's talk Jags here. I want to take you back to the play that we talked about the most on Sunday.
Why am I drawing a blank on Sunshine's name?
Trevor Lawrence.
Oh my goodness.
I want to take you back to the play that we talked about most on Sunday. The fumble. When Trevor Lawrence threw the ball, they didn't rule it a forward pass. The rookie picks it up and just stands there.
Oh. Sorry if I blind you people with my hat.
Bald.
Oh, the seagulls are back.
I don't know that reference.
Oh my God.
What does that mean?
Just seagulls, period. It's my own reference. It's my own inside joke that nobody else gets.
That's weird.
You don't know what seagulls do when they swarm food? Mine.
The bald thing is a reference to SpongeBob.
You're bald. Oh, who cares?
Everybody.
Nobody.
Everybody.
And I made my own inside joke.
It didn't work.
It did, because it made you laugh and then go, what the hell are you talking about?
That's a stupid laugh. It's a pity laugh. Are you happy with a pity laugh?
Happy with anything I get.
All right. So the fumble, obviously, crazy.
Yeah, that was...
You can't do that. You play through the whistle. You're taught that early on.
Again, week 1, and yeah, you got a little bit of rookie Lawrence in there, didn't we? But I think
I don't think Trevor Lawrence looked bad.
He didn't look bad. You got a little bit of him. I said a little bit.
Okay.
I didn't say he looked bad. I said you got a little bit of rookie in some spots there. He made some bad decisions, but
for me, Mike,
he's going into his 3rd year. So
I'm concerned about the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm concerned that their defense is way too weak. What was it? They allowed 22 points to the Indianapolis Colts last week. And that's just too much to give up to the Indianapolis Colts, in my opinion. Like, the Colts are not a team that's going to put up 20-plus in many games this year.
Yeah, no, with all the rookies they got.
They're just not they're not great on star power. But how about Calvin Ridley? Coming back, first game, 8 receptions, 101 yards, and a touchdown. Dude's a freaking beast. Good for him, man. I mean, gambling on the sport, I'll never support that. I'll never do that. I supported Mike Vick when he came back because the man paid for his crimes, and the league accepted him back. Calvin Ridley, not to the same extreme, of course, but at the end of the day, this man paid his dues, missed his season. He's back. I want to stop talking about it. I'm going to make it my mission to stop talking about the year that he missed.
Okay.
We'll see if it happens.
Probably not.
This one to me, like I said, match of the week, Mike. I'm taking the Kansas City Chiefs. I can't bet against Patrick Mahomes. I mentioned it already.
Yeah, I think we all saw that one coming. I don't disagree.
I was going to say, do not tell me you're taking Jacksonville.
I'm not taking Jacksonville.
They could. They could.
I think they got a fighting chance. I think that, again, Trevor Lawrence comes a little bit back.
Wrestling reference. Any man with 2 hands has a fighting chance. So we're agreeing with the Chiefs. Now, do we want to put an asterisk on this game where if Kelsey doesn't play, we're going the other way? Or do we want to say, hey, it's Chiefs no matter what?
No, I don't think any asterisk is needed. I think that...
Hard word for you to say, huh?
Yeah, apparently. But I don't think it's needed necessary in this game. I think that Mahomes,
if we want to use it later on in the season, it is there if we need it.
We'll use our phone a friend asterisk
when we need to. I agree. I just wanted to see where you were.
I think KC's got this game, whether it's a dog fight or not. I think KC's got this game. I think Mahomes
is angry.
And when you get angry Mahomes, you get
run.
Yeah. Go on for the hills, Jacksonville. Go on.
Moving on to the next matchup here, an NFC matchup between the Green Bay Packers and Atlanta Falcons. One of your picks last week, who ended up pulling out the victory, Atlanta.
Picked both of them, both teams to win.
I picked the Packers too.
So
I wasn't going to give you credit for both. I was just going to give you credit for the one.
I'm getting credit for both. I still picked both, whether we picked.
You do have credit for it in the stat sheet, but I'm not giving you credit for it out of my mouth.
We're getting credit.
Desmond Ridder, he played all right. Made his possessions count. No turnovers. That's what needs to continue. Free agent acquisition from Cincinnati Bengals, Jesse Bates, safety. 2 interceptions for him. And then their rookie first-round pick, Bijan Robinson, absolute insane, dude. 83 all-purpose yards and a score. Hit the back juke on him like it was college and walked into the end zone. I loved it so much. I'm going to let you take over for the Packers here. What did you think about Jordan Love? We got his numbers in front of you.
Yeah, he was 15 for 27, 245 yards, 3 touchdowns. He looked awesome, man. He looked great even without one of his top dogs.
Mm-hmm. There's no talent there. You have Dobbs, you got rookies at tight end, and that's it.
Yeah, and he looked good. And so far, Jordan Love looks like he's going to keep the trend of going from.
Oh man,
early
to say.
Of course. I'll hold the reins back a tiny bit, but I said so far he's looking
1 week. 1 week is so far for you. I
can only go based off of what I see.
The leading receiver for the Packers this week was Aaron Jones. 100 yards in the receiving game. So, like I mentioned, they don't have anybody at receiver. They're making the best of what they got.
Of course. And that's what you got to do, and that's what you do as a good quarterback and a good leader of your team. And
I wrote down something that needs to be said. The Green Bay Packers finally have a good defense. Like, it's up there in terms of top of the league. Where was it when Aaron Rodgers was there? Because he could have won more than one Super Bowl if he had a good defense more than 1 year. Because they won it in, I think it's 2010, and that's with Clay Matthews, A.J. Hawk, and then ever since then, the defense just slowly declined. Speaking of Rodgers, we, of course, mentioned it. Not too much on last show because we were too busy talking about the Bills, but did tear his Achilles. He is done for the year. And the team that it hurts the most is the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
It's not the New York Jets because Aaron Rodgers was traded for a conditional first-round pick where he had to play 65% of the snaps.
Yep.
He played 4 plays, which was one more play than Abraham Lincoln lasted.
Now you're a jerk. Oh, man.
You can reference memes. I can reference memes. You haven't heard that one, huh?
Nope. Threw me off.
I'm taking Green Bay.
But,
I'm taking Green Bay. I wrote that I think Atlanta can put up a fight, but I went to comparisons, right?
Okay.
The defenses both performed well in week 1. Who do I believe in more? The Packers. Coaching, who do I believe in more? The Packers. Quarterback, Packers. That's what made my decision pretty easy.
Okay, all right. Yeah, again, probably a tough game. Probably pretty close. They can
take it. They can take it. Bijan goes off. Something happens with Ritter catching fire, and Kyle Pitts finally performs like the player that he's been hyped up to be. The Atlanta Falcons can take it.
I think I have to agree with you, and I'm going to pick the Packers again for week 2. I think they're going to go 2-0. I think they're going to take the Falcons. They definitely have a little bit more weapons. I think they're gonna take it.
I mean, I don't know about that. The weapons are weak.
They're a little weak.
Honestly, Atlanta might have better weapons. Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier, Jonnu Smith, who used to play with Tennessee and New England.
And Green Bay has a pretty good run defense. So
yeah, but if some of those are receivers, some of those are tight ends.
Some of those are receivers and tight ends, but they got a pretty good run. So and they got a pretty good secondary too. So they
do. But I'm just talking in terms of weapons. You were talking about weapons in general. Weapons in general, I think you erred to the Atlanta Falcons, but that's besides the point. Guys, we want to thank you for watching this one. We're getting right into the next one. These are all going to be coming out similar to last week, so check them out as you'd like to, and we'll see you in a minute.
Or 3.